There are over 30% more homes for sale right now in Ohio compared to this time last year, and some counties are seeing much larger inventory spikes. In Franklin County alone, inventory is up over 50% year over year, and they just hit a 9-year high when it comes to available homes for sale. That's right, we haven't had this many homes available on the market in Franklin County in nearly a decade. But even with more options, home prices are still climbing in 85 of the 88 counties in Ohio. In this video, I'll show you where inventory is exploding in the Buckeye State, and we'll take a look at home prices and try to figure out, is there any end to this madness? I'll also review 3 critical signs you need to look out for as a home buyer, seller, or investor as we head into 2026. My name is Jason Ferrier. I am the Ohio Housing Nerd, and I want to welcome you to this brand new YouTube channel focused only on the Ohio housing market. Now, I've been a realtor and investor in Central Ohio for the past 7.5 years, so I know something about the Buckeye housing market. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Let's get started. To kick things off, let's look at Ohio in general and what the trends look like. Well, now when we look at Ohio overall for the state and what's happening with prices and inventory, according to Redfin, the median price in Ohio for a home is now $254,000. And that's an increase of 6.2% year over year. Now, if we go all the way back to 2012, the median home price in Ohio was 88 grand. You could buy a house in Ohio, generally speaking, for less than $100,000. But that shot up rapidly over the past decade. And in June of 2024, we hit a record high of $262,000. So now that prices are up over 6% year over year in 2025 versus 2024, and now at 254 grand, it's safe to say we probably will break that record. And when it comes to inventory, the number of homes for sale, because that drives prices, folks, supply and demand. The more supply on the market, as long as demand stays constant or goes down, will probably create lower home prices. Conversely, if you see inventory lower, if you see inventory plummet like we saw during the COVID crisis, then you can assume prices will probably go up as long as demand stays the same or, heaven forbid, goes higher. And so inventory of homes for sale in Ohio right now, while it's up 31% year over year, we're still 37% under pre-pandemic levels when it comes to statewide data. In other words, if you compare May of 2025 to May of 2019, we still have 37% fewer homes available for buyers. And that dearth of inventory has created insane home prices. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Comment below and tell me, have you seen home prices go parabolic and absolutely insane over the past few years? But that's statewide data. What we're going to do now is take a look at county level data because real estate is very localized. So we're going to start with Franklin County, Ohio, which is home to Columbus, the capital. And we're looking right now at inventory of homes for sale. And right now, like I said at the beginning of this video, we're up 56% in the number of homes for sale in Franklin County alone. 56%, that's a big increase. Now at 1,900 homes. If you go back to 2017, we had 1,880 homes. If you go back to 2019, we have 1,812 homes. So right now we're at a 9-year high with available homes for sale in Franklin County. But what about home prices? Well, our 1-year change of home prices in Franklin County is up 2%. So while we've had a complete surge, I would call it a massive surge of homes for sale, we're only up 2% with home prices, and that makes sense because the more available inventory, the lower the prices. But look at this. Over the last 6 years, if you go back 6 years, we're actually up 60% in home prices in Franklin County. 60%. So there's no doubt that the home price growth has been slowing over the past couple years because of the rising inventory, but we're not even close to making a dent in the parabolic rise of home prices in Central Ohio. All right, now we're going to hit Cleveland, Ohio, or Cuyahoga County. And you can see the inventory shift in Cuyahoga County, not near as big as Franklin County. Right now, they're saying Cuyahoga County has 1,893 homes for sale. All this data, by the way, is provided by Resi Club Analytics. They're using raw data from Realtor.com and Zillow to give us what we're looking at today. And so inventory right now at 1,893 units in Cleveland or Cuyahoga County. Back in 2017, Cuyahoga County had 3,739 listings for sale. And so unlike Columbus and Franklin County, they're not even close to a 9-year high. And when we look at home prices in Cuyahoga County, you can see that right now, year over year, prices are up 5.5%. The 6-year change isn't 60% like Franklin County, but it's high at 55.5%. So when you look at the 6-year change of home values in Cleveland and Cuyahoga County, home values, in other words, have skyrocketed 55.5% in just 6 years in Cuyahoga County. And so while inventory is definitely growing there, it's not growing enough to actually cause home prices to really slow down that much. But comment below and tell me, if you're from Cleveland or the Cuyahoga County area, I'd like to know, are you seeing lower home prices or higher home prices? Now we're going down to Hamilton County, Ohio, where Cincinnati's located. And you can see year over year, inventory shift up 36.9, call it 37% more homes for sale versus this time last year. So just like Cleveland, more inventory growth, but it's not even close to where Columbus is coming in. And right now, about 1,100 homes for sale in Hamilton County, Ohio, and still well below pre-pandemic levels of inventory when we had 1,835 homes for sale. And it's not even close to a 9-year high like we see in Franklin County. But what about home prices in Cincinnati? Well, 1-year change up 3% year over year in the median home price. And the 6-year change, similar to what we're seeing in Columbus and Cleveland, 57.3% 6-year change in home price growth. But look at this other year. Look at the 4-year to 5-year change. The difference is 20%, meaning in that year, we saw home prices increase 20% year over year. Comment below if you're in Cincinnati. Tell me what's happening with home prices in your neighborhood. Now, beyond the big 3 counties in Ohio, let's look at some other ones and see what's happening, because some of these stats are just ridiculous. For instance, look at Knox County, Ohio, where Mount Vernon's located. Year over year shift in inventory up 69%. That's right, 69%. You think that's crazy? Look at the price growth in Knox County. 1 year up 5%, which is high normally, but the 2-year change is 14%. The 3-year change, 17%. And look what happened before that. The 6-year change, 62, call it 63% growth in home values. So you've got a rapid rise of inventory in Knox County and also a rapid rise in home values. And it doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. Now, Knox County is relatively close to the new Intel project that's in Licking County. So let's look at Licking County and see what's happening there, because that's home of the new Intel plant. In Licking County, we see a shift of 24.6% in inventory and number of homes for sale. And right now, they're saying we've got 339 listings. Now, that's not a 9-year high, but it's certainly approaching it. Now that inventory level is above May of 2018. But that rise in homes for sale has not translated into lower home prices in Licking County. In fact, the 6-year change, are you sitting down, folks? 64% increase in the last 6 years. However, in 1 year, the change is only 2%. So home prices in Licking County only up 2% year over year. So this is an area that could be softening, similar to Franklin County, where we've seen an explosion of inventory. But I wouldn't get your hopes up for a housing market crash. But comment below if you live in Knox County or you live in Licking County and you're seeing the Intel effect. I know I am. Now with Knox and Licking both exploding with inventory and prices, you've got now Muskingum County, where Zanesville's located, up 91% year over year in homes for sale. 91%. And guess what? That's still not a 9-year high. 170 homes for sale. Back in 2017, they had nearly 300. But at one point, it got down to only 60 homes for sale. And the prices reflect this dearth of listings. Because if we look at the home prices in Muskingum County, 1 year up 5.4%, and the 6 year up 62%. And again, between the years 2021 and 2020, home values in Muskingum County went up 20%. So again, we're seeing more inventory build, which is good for buyers, but prices still haven't really changed course. They're still going up, again, up 5.4% year over year in Muskingum County. So comment below, are you from Muskingum County? Do you see prices crazy like this? I own some investment properties there. I can tell you prices are up. Now let's head up north to Toledo or Lucas County. They're up 20% year over year with inventory and not even close to a 9-year high. I mean, that number back in the day in 2017 was 1,300, 1,400 listings. Now only 628. What about prices in Toledo? Those are going up as well. We've got 5.4% growth in home prices year over year and a 6-year change of 56.8%. Prices in Ohio, folks, are unhinged from reality. Now we head to Summit County, which is Akron, Ohio, an increase of 33% in active listings in Akron or Summit County, 685 listings right now. So not even close to a 9-year high with the number of homes for sale, because back in 2017, they had 1,620 homes for sale. So that number, the number of homes for sale, has steadily dropped since 2017. Forget COVID. It was dropping before that. 1620, 1456, 1,197 before COVID. COVID just made it a lot worse. So if you're shopping for a home in Akron, let me know what's going on there. It seems like inventory is very slim. Now let's look at prices. Prices are offering no relief at all. 1-year change up 4.9%. 6-year change a whopping 54.2%. Now we keep talking about inventory levels much higher than last year, and some areas of Ohio we're seeing inventory higher than the last 9 years. But there are counties where we have less inventory, like Sandusky, Ohio, home of Cedar Point, your roller coast. And that inventory is down 14% year over year, actually have fewer homes on the market than last year in Sandusky. And it's not even close to a 9-year high. 157 homes for sale back in 2017, now only 49. And what about prices? Prices are up 5.1% year over year. The 6-year change up 52.7. So if you're in Sandusky, comment below. Let me know what's happening. But I wouldn't expect home prices to fall in Sandusky County anytime soon. Now, I said earlier in this video that only a few counties were down year over year in prices. And here's one of them. Hocking County, Ohio has a lot of Airbnb there. 95 listings right now total of homes for sale, up 28% year over year. It's a 9-year high, similar to Franklin County. But unlike Franklin County, Hocking County is actually down year over year in home prices, down 0.7%, not even 1%. Look at the 6-year change of home prices in Hocking County, 67% higher home prices versus the last 6 years. Insane. So here's another smaller Ohio county where we're seeing insane price growth and listings just aren't keeping up with historical trends. Year over year shift is up 65% with inventory in Perry County. Now it's 66 units, but back in 2017, they had 92. And you need to sit down for this one, folks, because Perry County's prices have gone parabolic in the last 6 years. 76% growth in home values in Perry County. In fact, between the years 2020 and 2021, home prices basically went up nearly 30% in 1 year. 30%. And this year, up 4.9%. No slowing down in home price growth in Perry County. Here's another Ohio county where we're seeing lower inventory versus last year. Clermont County, down 16.7% year over year. 195 listings right now. Back in 2017, had 497 listings. This is honestly like approaching nearly a 9-year low. Not there yet, but it's really hasn't improved that much over the last 5 years. And when we look at home prices in Clermont County, you can see up 3.7% year over year, 6-year change though, 58%. Now we'll look at Meigs County, Ohio, because this is the county that has the largest price decline year over year in Ohio right now. Inventory's up 36% to 45 total listings. Really, they haven't had a ton of listings at all in the past, 9 years, but basically nothing for sale hardly. And home prices really have reflected probably an economy that's struggling. 6-year change in home values, only 27%. 5-year change 14%, but they've been down year over year consistently. Down 0.9% right now, was flat for a 2-year change. 3-year change down 4%. 4-year change down 1%, nearly 2%. So home prices are kind of stagnant in Meigs County, Ohio. But that's the worst one, folks, down just 0.9%. I mean, when you zoom out on the Ohio map, as far as price gains go, there's really no county that's in serious trouble. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Ohio, particularly in the residential sector, there are 3 things that I would look out for if I were you. The first one being inventory growth. You want to look at a specific market you want to buy, sell, or invest in, like down to the subdivision, maybe the school district level, and understand what inventory has been doing in that market. How many homes are on the market now? How many homes were on the market last year? And go back as far as you can and look at the trend. Are you seeing more inventory like in Franklin County, or are you seeing less inventory or stagnant inventory? That'll give you a guide as to where home prices may go soon. The second thing I would look out for is the high end of the market. If you happen to be shopping in the high end of the price range in the area you want to buy in, there may be some opportunities there versus the lower end. Because what I'm seeing overall, particularly in Central Ohio, are that luxury homes are sitting much longer on the market versus a few years ago. So if you happen to be somebody shopping in a high-end market, like some areas over $1 million, maybe over $500,000, depending on exactly where you live, that could be an opportunity for you versus the lower end. So make sure you separate the price brackets when you're looking at the number of homes on the market. Don't just look at all the homes, divide it out and have a realtor give you that data, divide it out by price brackets. So for instance, 0 to 200,000, 200 to 400,000, 400,000 to 600,000, and 600,000 plus. Because if you see inventory rising overall, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's rising in the price point you want to buy in. The third thing I would watch for is the economy and interest rates in particular. If you see interest rates start to come down meaningfully in the market, you may see buyers come back into the market more so than they already are and actually decrease active listings and buy up the supply that's out there. That will probably translate into much larger price gains and higher home prices. If you're in Ohio and right now and you're looking to buy a home, it's important to have the right expectations. I mean, what I'm seeing right now, folks, is that home prices don't seem to want to come down anytime soon, mainly because inventory has been constrained. However, there are pockets where inventory has been increasing, like we saw today. Could see some softer prices, but if you're hoping for some type of cataclysmic crash of home prices here in Ohio, I wouldn't get your hopes up, at least not yet. Now, if you can, hit the thumbs up on this video. It really helps me out and only takes you a second. Also, subscribe to the Ohio Housing Nerd. You should also check out the Housing Nerd channel, where I actually cover all the U.S. and the housing market nationally. You can find the latest video from the Housing Nerd right here.